I've got the new Huda Beauty Naughty Nudes eyeshadow palette to share with you guys today, and I wanted to get this video up before the end of the Sephora VIB sale because this palette is pretty pricey. It retails for $67. So I did purchase this palette off of the Sephora website, and there are 18 shades in here with a total of 0.59 ounces of product, and it averages out to be just over 0.03 ounces per shade. And I do kind of feel like for the amount of money that you're spending on this palette that you should get a little bit more product per shade. For me, I'm not somebody who's gonna like, you know, go through this palette super fast or anything like that because I have so much makeup and I buy so much makeup. But for somebody who, you know, purchases a palette with the intention of using it kind of like an everyday palette, I do wish that there was more product for that. The unicarton that the palette comes in is a tinted plastic packaging, and all of her 18 shade eyeshadow palettes are made in Italy. This one is no exception. I know a lot of her 9-pan palettes are made in China. I did do a demo using this eyeshadow palette, which is the look that's on my eyes right now, and that will be towards the end of the video if you're interested in seeing how these shadows went on and blended and performed for me. I've used quite a few shades in this palette, but I haven't used every single one, so hopefully when I swatch them you can kind of tell whether or not it's something that you're gonna like. Her color scheme in this guy isn't too far off from the color schemes in her other palettes, and I'll show this palette side by side with the other ones as well, so you can kind of see some of the differences. So maybe if you have some of those ones, you can compare whether or not this one is something that you'll want to pick up. I was really interested in these kind of shimmery foil looking shades. I thought that I was going to have trouble picking them up on a brush and putting them on, but they went on really nice with a flat shader brush. They also pick up really good on your finger and go on a little bit more opaque like that, but I've had some shades like this with that more like creamy texture to them, like you can kind of, you know, put a little indent in them like that are more difficult to pick up on a brush, but I was surprised that I didn't have problems with these ones. The mattes in this palette are really lovely as well. They're very pigmented. They blended out well. I had very little fallout with them. The one shade that's probably the big question for everybody is this shade Slippery right down here. It's the only shade like that in the palette. It's like a clear gel with pigment pearls suspended in it, and for some reason or another, like, I did not like the way, you can kind of see a little bit of the pearls there because I smushed my finger in there. Something about the way that that looked just bothered me, and I could not wait to push my finger into it, break up the pearls, and mix the gloss with the pearls. I was like, this needs to happen like right now. So that's like the first thing that I did. That's a shade that I'm probably not going to use. If you're somebody who likes to do a really glossy eye, I know that's kind of a thing. I think that this formulation is kind of nice. It doesn't set down fully. It has like a glossy look to it, but I don't think it'll crease as bad as some more wet type of glosses. The other thing that this shade could be good for is to pat on and then go over it with these more shiny shades to really get a foiled effect. But other than that, I probably won't get a ton of use out of that shade. So that's the only shade like that in this palette, and then there are 8 matte shades, and you've got 5 of those metallic shades that do have micro glitter in them, but because they're more of like that spongy kind of cream texture to them, they suspend really well in the formula. So when I used like this guy right here, I don't have any glitter fallout on my face as of yet. I use a pretty, you know, kind of tacky base with that CoverGirl and Olay foundation that works really well with products like this, but I had very little fallout with those as well. I kind of see 6 shades with the micro glitter. This shade Shameless, Please Me, Irresistible, Flower Power. There's a little bit in Provocative, and there's some in the shade Tantric. And then you've got like a more, it's very interesting formula in this Passion shade and Hard. Those are kind of similar formulas. Even though this one looks marbled, it's not the same formula as these two. This is more like a, it's like a satin sheeny type of a finish to it. And then you've got your matte shades. You've got Filthy, Hypnotic, Untamed, Rough, Spicy, Arouse, Juicy, and Naughty in there. It's just really fun to look at. I do kind of wish that she would have continued to use her really pretty imagery on the cover, because I think that this like Naughty Nude cover is really boring, like in comparison to all of her other palettes with the pretty, like, you know, the pretty imagery on it. But let's go ahead and zoom up close and give you guys some swatches. So we'll start with this one. This is a matte. This shade Passion is really unique. It's like a burgundy with a duochrome purple blue shift to it. It's really stunning. I don't see shades like this very often. It's very, very beautiful. See, it's just a really unique shade with that burgundy in there. It's really pretty. Oh gosh, that shade is really, really pretty. So those are the first 4. And then these next ones. See, it's like a satin type of a finish to it. I don't know why I didn't swatch 4 of them. I just grabbed those 2. And then these guys. These mattes are so nice. And then these guys. And then here's the gloss. Blended out, it does sheer out quite a bit. So there's that gloss. I'm going to go over it one more time so you can see, hopefully see kind of the texture of it. And then these last 4. So here are all the shades right here. They are very pretty. Kind of try to get them all in there. And then here is a side-by-side comparison. You have the Mercury Retrograde on top and the Naughty Nude on the bottom. Here is the New Nude on top with the Naughty Nude on the bottom. Here we have got the Desert Dusk palette on top and the Naughty Nude on the bottom. Here you have got the Rose Gold palette remastered on the top and the Naughty Nude palette on the bottom, right there. Yeah, when I look at all these palettes together like this, they just look so pretty. And then, like the covers, I mean like the packaging. And then I look at this one and I'm like, hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I really wasn't sure what to expect with this palette with like the, you know, all the marbling and the different textures and stuff like that. But I'm pleasantly surprised with how much I like it. Again, that gloss is probably the only shade that's just probably not going to get used. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll toy around. Now, if you're interested in seeing the look that's on my eyes and how these shadows went on for me, you can hang tight and we will get into it right now. I'm going to use this Rare Beauty concealer brush and go into the CoverGirl and Olay Simply Ageless foundation. And I'm going to use that for an eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to put it from the lash line to up underneath the brow. Then using this flat shader brush from Wayne Goss, I'm going to go into the shade Flower Power, which is that guy, and put that on the inner portion of the lid. I'm going to try to get more of the lighter shimmer in there. And put it right here. It does appear to be the lightest shimmer in the palette. Using that same brush, I'm going to go into the shade Please Me and put that in the middle and outwards and blend it into that other shade. I take it up quite a bit from the like fold in my eye there, just so that it's more visible. Then using a Huda GSN 9, I'm going to go into the shade Untamed, which is a matte eyeshadow. I'm going to put that guy through the crease and angle it up towards the end of my brow. Boy, that was a lot more pigmented. I picked up a lot of product there. Then using a Wayne Goss number 20 brush, I'm going to go into this matte called Hypnotic. And I'm going to use that to blend out the Untamed shade. These mattes are really nice. Then I'm going to take my GSN 9. I'm not going to pick up any more product, but blend this right here. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of the shade Juicy. I'm going to use the shade Juicy down here in the corner and put that through here. The Hypnotic was a little bit lighter than I thought. Then using an Esom G29 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Flower Power that we used on the inner portion and use that underneath the brow. It's kind of like the lightest shade in the palette. So that Filthy shade right here, this matte kind of dusty rose, it deepens a little bit. Ooh, that's a little dark too for under the brow, but we're just going to go with it. A little too late now. I'm going to use a little bit of that matte shade called Filthy right here on a Sonia G mini booster brush. And I'm just going to put some through here. Oh yeah, that works great for that. That was pretty easy, and that is a really pretty eye look. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my eye makeup, and I'll be right back to put on some lips for you guys. For lips, I've got the M Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Fawn. This is like my most used shade out of the bundle of 5 that I got. I just really, really enjoy this one. So I'm going to line my lips and kind of fade it inwards with this. And then to fill them in, I've got the House of Sillage Nude Secura lipstick, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that guy on. And there is the overall finished look using the new Huda Beauty Naughty Nude Eyeshadow Palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys later. Bye.